the next book will probably either tap into that coffee table photo book. I may do a follow-up for one of the other books I've done, which is called 9 Stories of Faith. And that's where it was interview-based, where people opened up about what their biggest daily challenge is and how through the lens of their respective faith, best practices with health and wellness, and how they change their way of thinking, how they still live positive lives. So I think like any writer, you have all these great ideas, but you gotta go sit down somewhere. And I think like in education, it's the hook and hold. What's the thing that hooks you? What's the thing that's gonna hold you? And that's gonna drive you to what your next book is. So I know it'll either be a follow-up or the coffee table. And even with the coffee table, there's so many directions I can go in. I could go just on sports, or I could touch base on a little bit of sports, a little bit of arts and entertainment, a little bit of government and politics, a little bit of just random walks at the ocean, or don't ask me why, but random walks on near Lake Michigan in Chicago in like December. Like I know I gotta pick a better month, but I think it's a good problem to have when you have all these ideas. But now it's like, let me figure out a spot to slow down the moving parts, figure out which one hooks and holds, and once I know, then I know what direction to go in. And like anybody who writes, just get in your rhythm, get in your zone, and just make sure that with whatever you're doing, you're authentic and accessible. Like people see you're being genuine, but you're communicating with them instead of communicating above them or beneath them. So as long as I can operate in that space, that's going to help drive me for my next book.
So with regard to those who may want to write or in the process of writing, so it sounds like you're operating on a lift as you climb mentality.
Oh heck yeah. Like I'll tell anybody, none of us got here by ourselves. I don't care what you do. Nobody got here by themselves. And just like there's authors that kind of helped me as I was delving into it, part of the way you thank people who helped you is to help somebody else. So anyone that's had an inkling to write, working on a book, things along those lines, the simplest thing is the hardest thing is getting started. And I know we've heard that ad word is true. The hardest thing is getting started because you get pulled so many different directions. Family or career, or what am I going to cook today, or fitness goals, whatever. We're all getting pulled in different directions. So the hardest part is getting started, so you're carving out time. And then the second thing I'll tell anybody, figure out what consistency looks like for you. Like the way consistency looks like for me coming to writing will not be the same as somebody else, and that's okay. You may only be able to dedicate 3 days out the week. That's okay, because if that's what's going to help you get to your goal, so be it. Everybody can't write every day 8 hours a day. That's like rehab. I mean, whoever can do it, God bless you, but that wasn't how I did my stuff. And you can't say, well, I did it this way, you have to do it the same way, but no. But I would say the hardest part is getting started. Second thing, figure out what consistency looks like for you. Third thing is, I would suggest, just like the hook and hold, the topic that keeps you up at night is what you're gonna write about. The topic you can't shake or throw out in the trash, that's what you're gonna write about. The next thing is just get it written. You can always go back and get it edited, cleaned up, whatever, but get it, whatever, on a composition book or your tablet or your notes feature on your phone, and make sure as best as possible you're writing not only for you because this is something of interest, but you're helping be a voice for people that have the same ideas but may not have the confidence to put it in an audiobook or put it on paper, or people get nervous talking in front of audiences. To agree, I should be honest, because I know half of y'all know me for since kindergarten, basically, undergrad. I should be nervous, but because you guys would be like, but wait, I know, so but those are the main things. And I'll say this is everybody has a story to tell. Everyone has a story to tell, and who better to tell it than you? And whether you do a memoir, you do poetry, you talk about your hobbies or interests, talk about what you know. You know, and I'll also say this, even if people do the same topic, they can't do it like you can. You're going to be able to reach people that other people won't. Just like I'm able to reach people that some people might not, but there's people there that are able to reach others that I'm not going to be able to. But that's okay. There's enough space in the writing space, regardless of people say it's saturated and all that. Man, look, people are waiting to hear it from you. So who better to tell it than you? And the last thing I'll say is don't keep those people waiting. People have been waiting on you. Somebody known or unknown has been waiting on you to talk about your life experience, or talk about your work experience, or talk about your expertise in whatever field, or talk about, you know, where you struggled and you are starting to figure things out. People need to hear that stuff. And if they hear it from you, it may resonate and help people pause and pivot and turn the corner. So if you can be that bridge for somebody, it's like, do it to the best of your ability through writing, through song or whatever. It's okay. It's okay to do that.
Just make sure you do it.
Yeah, just